Yeah, y'all know who it is, man. It's your wifey's favorite DJ, the Backblock Bully, DJ Juice Ortiz. And I got a very special guest I've been trying to link with her. She's very busy. She just came off a road trip down Texas doing the South by Southwest and Austin. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Hey everybody, my name is Taylor from Taylor Media Branding PR. How y'all doing today?
Good. It's good to have you. Like I said, you've been very busy, been on the road. I actually met you at one of your events at
Yes.
SA Cafe. It was a very dope event. You gave away $500. You had $3 in the building.
Yeah,
It
shout
was
out
a
to Reed.
Yeah, it was a real special event, man. Um, so we're gonna jump right into it. What inspired you to pursue a career in PR?
Okay, well, for me, I went to school for public relations and a minor in PR. Well, public relations was my minor, communications was my major. I always wanted to make sure that people that had any type of talent was able to get their talent out there. So,
Okay. And so for
yeah,
the people who don't know what PR is, because I'm sure a lot of artists
yeah.
don't know what public relations is. What is public relations? Can you explain that for me?
Public relations is for the people. Is an industry where we are taking your talent and through marketing, through journaling, through promoting, we're going to show your talent to those individuals that may like to see your talent. Now, it's easy for you to have talent. Everybody has talent, but what a PR does is we're the liaison in between the person and whatever company or whatever viewer they're trying to get to, pretty much.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
So a lot of people, especially in this industry, want to be in front of the camera and want to do the star like stuff. So in PR, I know it's a lot of behind the scenes and things
right.
like that. What kind of got you to feeling like that, like you'd rather work behind the scenes?
Well, a lot of people don't know I'm actually kind of shy. Like, so I like I like to be behind the scenes because I'm one of those people that I'm from a show me state. So it's like I don't want to say what I can do, right? I
Okay.
want people to see what I can do. So especially with like Teller Media Branding, open mic night or TMB open mic night, I love that at the end of the night people are just like, oh, so you did that? Like, so that's a great
Yeah.
feeling because I want to be just a rich nobody.
And that's for sure how I felt when I met you. They was like, my artist had performed at your event,
Right,
and
right.
so we kind of talked a little bit on the social media, but I never put a
Shout out to
face
Gaddafi,
to the name.
right?
Yeah, shouts out to Gaddafi. I never put a name to the face, but
Right.
when I met you, you were so bubbly. So it's weird that you're saying that you shy because you were so bubbly, very outspoken, and very about your business, and it
Right,
was actually a real pleasure meeting you.
right,
So you've been doing that, and I know that this industry is really male dominated,
right,
so it's very few in between that you see women doing this. So how do you
right.
navigate the challenges of being a woman in a male dominated industry like this?
The same, like you said. I'm very bubbly. I'm very upfront, but I'm very stern. I mean what I say. I say what I mean. I keep it moving. It depends. You in this industry when it comes to men and when it comes to actually being pretty, like it's one thing to be pretty, right? But
Hmm.
it's another thing to actually open your mouth and have substance,
Yeah,
right?
for
Open your
sure.
mouth and be like, oh damn, like oh she's not playing. So I think that's what sets me apart because I'm very bubbly, but once you actually sit down with me, you're like, okay, this is somebody that I want to work with because I know how to communicate. I know how to translate what it is I want to do.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And like I said, you were very well spoken that night, and as soon as I met you, I was like, oh, we could definitely do business and get
Right,
things going. So
right.
that's true how you say that. So what? When you looking for a client, whether it be an artist or just any client,
Mhm.
what is it that makes that person stand out for you in today's market?
In today's market, I'll tell you, I look for how you treat other people.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you because anyone can have talent, right?
Right.
But are you coachable? Can somebody give you a heads up? Are you able to take criticism? Do you fly off the handle when things don't go your way?
Yeah,
Like, how do you treat somebody that you don't need? Right?
for sure.
That's how I go about. That's why I love having the open mics because it gives me a chance to see all the artists that continuously come back and we have the networking at the end. It's like, okay, oh, okay, that's what's up. He's giving daps and he's giving, kudos to other artists, or they're doing this or they're doing that. That to me is like, okay, I can see myself working with that person because everybody got talent.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's how you treat other people that makes me say, is this someone that I can work with? Also, you got to come with some good shit and some good cadence, good
Yeah,
delivery. I got to understand what you're saying.
yeah,
Like,
for sure, for
for sure,
sure.
for sure. If you want to get
I
technical
could
with
definitely
music,
understand that, and I like that you say that because being an artist manager, I see both sides of it. Because
yeah,
on the management side of it,
right,
you kind of try to filter through all the BS and try to, okay, this person might not be who we need to, or just trying to, climb the ladder of success.
right,
It's hard to sometimes filter out who's who and who could get you to where you need to be because it's a lot of BS out there.
right,
And
right,
as you said, is good to see an artist that can kind of manage that for themselves,
right,
and have good
right,
PR, behind them and things like that, because
right.
that plays a big part in where they at now and where they could get to. So I like
Yeah,
that you focus more on that as a PR.
yeah.
So how do you navigate working with artists and other labels and other industry professionals to maintain a healthy relationship and things like that?
I make sure that I communicate fully in writing, also verbally. A lot of times when money is exchanged and when you're dealing with people and it has to deal with your reputation and your name, for me, I always want to make sure that whatever I say I'm going to do, I always make sure I do it. And if I can't do it, I always make sure I communicate that,
Okay.
because your name is very hard to build back up.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, so with social media being so big and you being a PR firm, what role do social media and digital platforms play in promoting an artist or a client?
Right. Right at this very moment is 90%. I would say it's 90% of social media on all platforms, right? But I always tell my clients you can't just stop at social media, because you have people that's outside of social media that don't go to your page, that won't know what you're posting. So I'm all about street teams as well, especially when it comes to marketing. You got to get out there, you got to do interviews, you got to get out there and take those interviews and actually maybe go to different um, areas and shop your interviews, like, yo, I'm an artist, this is what I do, this is my interview. 90% on social media, but people don't use it the way it's supposed to be used. They basically are aiming for individuals that they already know.
Yeah,
Your biggest person that's going to show you love is a stranger, sadly to say. So if anyone's out there using social media, your main thing is stop worrying about who in your corner is not liking your shit, or who's around that's not transferring or sharing your shit, because in order to make it, your main person is going to be a stranger.
yeah, and that's so true. With me being on the road and things like that,
Yeah.
it was like I was always looking for the hometown love and the support
Right.
from the people who know you. But and I say this all the time when I do interviews, I feel like it's because that you're so accessible to people. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
accessibility, even though it could work in your favor, it also could be a disadvantage when you're too
Right.
accessible to the wrong people.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You want to
Right.
be
Right. Right.
easily accessible to the people that you could build with and grow or good rapport with, and grow your career.
Right.
But being accessible to the local everybody isn't
Right.
really, you know what I'm saying? It really isn't. And you could be accessible, but there's levels to it, accessibility. You know what I'm saying? And I think that people don't know how to judge or how to navigate that.
They don't. And I think that's where PR comes in at too, because for you to be so accessible, it's like nobody wants something that they can get like that.
Right. So, what's your biggest misconception? What do you think is the biggest misconception about a PR or a PR firm or having a publicist?
That we're managers and that we're supposed to be dishing out money. Like, that is the biggest misconception, because as a publicist, I am the last step. If you don't have a album out, if you don't have any content, if you don't have any music, if you don't have your BMI, if you don't have all your
Yeah, ass
ducks
calves
in a
all around.
row,
Right, right, right. If your
sorry,
music isn't anywhere else but YouTube, it's like I can't really help you.
I there's nothing I can do with you as a publicist if you are not at that stage.
Mhm.
So I think that's the biggest misconceptions because people don't really know what a publicist is. Let's be very honest.
And that's true.
That's very true. I always have to really explain what it is I do: social media marketing, consulting, curating, event branding, event planning. All of those things come into telemedia branding firm. None of that has managerial sections where I'm dishing out cash.
Yeah. And that's what even like with the artists I deal with now, Gaddafi, you know,
Right.
we a little bit more advanced when it comes to me and him, you know,
Right.
in our relationship because of our experiences and things like that. But
Right.
early on in my career, dealing with artists and things like that, it was always the misconception that the manager comes with money. And
Right.
it's like I feel like even when in some cases and instance it is that way, but you got to think too, if I'm dishing out all this money, what do you think I expect in return?
Right.
So
It's
my
for you to be
biggest thing,
making money.
exactly, so my biggest thing that I pitch to artists is always, you know, we coming in this together.
Hmm.
One hand washes the other. I need your talent to make what I do work, and you need what I do to make what you do work.
Right.
So as long as we work together, we can always get to a common end goal, but we got
Yep.
to lay out a format. And when I start laying out the format, like, all right, as an artist, let's get your BMI, your ASCAP,
Right.
let's get your royalties, let's get your split sheets with these producers and these
Uh,
engineers and these other artists. So when it comes to getting paid, you know, and these people are putting out songs and music and not making a dollar off of it or making small chump change when you could really be, you know, eating off of that and really
right.
paying your bills, but they don't take the little steps to get their business affairs in orders.
Right.
And it's very important, and I preach this to everybody. Having a publicist is like next to go. You get a good publicist behind you,
Yep.
and they're gonna put you in the positions to win. And as a
Yep.
manager, I just manage what you already bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? And let you focus on the artistry and the creative side of it
Yeah.
as much as possible. And people don't understand that. Like you said, they think it comes with money, and it's so hard
Right.
and disheartening to try to explain that to people over and over and over again. So I'm happy that you can, you know what I'm saying, explain that to people and kind
Yeah.
of get it. Hopefully they'll understand it from
I
you.
mean, for me, I don't even I don't take on clients. I vet my clients.
Yeah,
The
for
clients
sure.
that I actually sign contracts with, I've been around you. You've been around for some time. I know your music. I know your catalog inside and out. I know your demographics. I know how I'm going to market you. I know what you have going
Everything.
on, right? I don't just take in on anyone, but that's why I do the open mics so everybody gets a chance to, you know, shine. But everybody don't get a chance to, you know,
Get that tailor-made branding.
exactly,
I
for
get it
real,
for
for real,
sure. Yeah, I get it for sure.
yeah.
Okay, so how do you balance the creative side of the industry with the business side of you helping the artist promote and, you know, things like that?
Before, you know, I used to be like one of those people that was just like, I'm an empath, so I'm always a giver, right?
Hmm.
It's like, oh, you should do this. Why don't you do this? I'm giving free game, right?
Right.
Because knowledge is free, right?
Hmm.
But what I'm realizing is, yes, knowledge is free, but my time is not. So
Hmm.
the way that I manage that is I'm always going to kick it to you and give you free game,
Yep.
right? The open mic
Yep.
is free game because you got people that come out like right now. Jumbo's coming out. Got that beat from Jumbo. Shout out to Jumbo Studios. He's going to be judging this time
Okay.
around. He's giving out 2 hours of free studio time, and that's for the runner up.
Okay.
So if you come to these industry mixers and you get free game, I think I'm doing my part.
For sure.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
That's how I separate that. But when it comes to my bread, I am not doing anything for free.
Yes. And that's completely understandable. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
completely understandable. So what's some advice you would give a young woman that's trying to break into this industry and you know become a publicist or a manager or a promoter or an artist themselves?
I would say be willing to spend your own money. Be willing to spend your own money on yourself, on what you believe in, right?
Right.
Because my first open mic, not too many people show. Well, actually, a lot of people show. I'm not gonna lie. No, y'all turned up for me, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Young Cash Capri came, everybody came. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna lie.
that's what's up.
Mind you, Chrissy right now, she on tour with the Locks. She even came. So hey, everybody came. But I would basically say spend money on yourself because I had to spend money on myself. I have to give out the $500, even though I get it back through taxes, but it's still money that I have to
Put
give
up.
back.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So if you can invest in yourself and other people see that you can invest in yourself, that goes for male, female, artists, publicists, managers. If you can invest in yourself, other people will see that and they'll wholeheartedly invest in you. So yeah, that's all I got. Spend that bread on
Yeah, for
yourself.
sure, for sure. Definitely, it definitely calls. You got to pay to play. Um,
Yep.
how do you see the future of hip hop evolving, and what role do you hope to play in the future?
Well, I see Telemedia Brandon being the biggest public PR firm in the world. That is my goal. That is my mission. And I'm not going to stop until that is the case. And in terms of like in the industry, I want our open mics to be so big that when anybody come to Philly, they got to come to our open mics to see the hottest fucking artists.
Okay.
Like, I want them to know, like, damn, if you don't go to that TNB open mic night, you're going to miss out because all the dopest artists be there. Like, that's what I want for
Facts.
myself. That's what I want for TNB. That's what I want for the artists in Philly because these people have the greatest energy, but they also have some of the best talent. But it's just our circumstances and where we live at. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I am the golden ticket. Sign up with me. No, just kidding. But no, but no, seriously, man. I'm really willing to help. Like, push people forward, but you got to be wanting to push yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely could dig that, man. Y'all definitely got to tap in with Telemade Brandon, man. Like I said, she's an incredible spirit. She helps everybody out. She was dope to meet in person.
Aw.
The event was super dope. So before we get out of here, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on all platforms at Taylor_media branding. I'm going to be launching my website. So if you guys want to come to my birthday bash in our open mic April 25th, you can see me then. And just look out for all the dope artists because they'll be coming through Telemedia Branding PR because, we just going to make sure everybody see them. That's all.
Oh, y'all heard it here first, man. April 25th.
Yep. And
April
that's my
25th.
birthday. So
Shout out to Taylor.
yeah.
It's his birthday. So we definitely
Cash App at Taylor.
yeah, for sure. Make sure y'all blow that Cash App up, man. And just like that, you know who it is, man. It's your wifey's favorite DJ. We out of here.
Peace.